All right. Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Spill the Tea. We
Hello.
are ready to get into part 2 of our previous post, which is the husband, or, well, not husband, but groom
Yeah, he didn't make it
used
that far.
AI. The groom used AI for his vows. And the bride was very much not happy with that. And he couldn't understand why.
Yeah. Well, shocker. I mean,
Shocker.
overreacting. Nobody understands why.
I know, we're just crazy emotional people.
Seriously, like lock us up, drill a hole into our head. What was that? A
No,
phlebotomy?
seriously,
That's
give
not
us
a phlebotomy.
lobotomies.
Is it? What is it called? A lobotomy.
Lobotomies for everybody.
Yes, yes.
All
And
right,
Percocet.
cheers. What?
I said and Percocet. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Let's cheers.
Oh my, okay. Too much cheers. So, there is an update, like I said.
Yes. Let's hear it.
Okay, so just a refresher, the title is I, 35 male, was caught using AI to write wedding vows, and partner, 34 female, walked out. What to do? So, in this update, he says, I honestly wasn't planning to do an update after all because of how humiliating this entire situation has been. I didn't want to give more of
Oh,
a reason for people.
you
I
can't
didn't
update
want to give.
everybody about your life and then not update them the third update.
I,
That's not how
I,
the internet works.
Yeah, it's not how it works. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe an update. Is it going to save his ass? Let's guess before I finish reading it. Is this update going to save his ass? Are they back together or are
I
they
feel
done
like
for
yes,
good?
because he wouldn't have updated if they weren't. I feel like if they weren't together, he wouldn't have. I don't know. I'm just hoping.
Okay, I think my guess is he's updating to save his face, but I don't think they're back together. So let's
Oh, okay.
see.
I see what you mean. Yeah, so that people don't
Yeah,
attack him for not updating.
yeah. I didn't want to give more of a reason for people to rip me apart, but now that my story is posted on a popular YouTube channel, ooh, are we going to be the second popular YouTube channel to cover this?
Oh, stop. Stop it.
There probably won't be much of an escape route for me. There's no doubt people who know, oh no, sorry. There's no doubt people we know will find it now, so I wanted to give the short update everyone has been itching to get. I did what I said previously and told her about the Reddit post and how the replies gave me her perspective and that I was sorry. She ended up getting even more angry with me about posting our business, even though our names weren't mentioned, and that she couldn't believe I needed online strangers to tell me why I was wrong. Kind of agree with her there.
I love
And
her. I love her.
I think you kind of talked about that in the first part. So, yeah,
God.
very
Hey, so my
very
fiance
much.
left me because I use the internet to write my vows. So I use the internet to see if I should get back with her, and now she's mad that I did that. I don't understand why. That is his logic. That is his logic. That is what's going through his brain. I can't.
Uh, uh, his critical thinking skills are not the best. Oh man, like, does he have a brain injury? Like, what is this guy's backstory? I'm trying for the life
Brain
of me.
injury.
I'm just trying to give him like some type of benefit of the doubt.
Were you dropped on your head as a child, sir?
Okay, so he says, also, apparently my mom was texting her about paying back all the wasted wedding money, and she used that against me too. Which I don't think is fair. I have no control over what my family does. Snacks and flowers didn't do much. She refuses.
I sorry. Keep reading. I
I know. Yeah. Okay. She refuses to give me another chance even after offering going to couples counseling. So, yeah, the wedding is never happening again. It's over. This has
no.
been the more horrendous time. Huh?
The mom? that was never going to work out after that, especially after that. You, your son used
No.
AI. I'm not paying you back. How about you shove that money I owe you up your ass? That's what I would have said.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is a bit tacky. I'm not really sure. Obviously, nobody planned for the wedding to not happen, but also kind of a weird thing to ask her for the money back when the son is at fault here.
That was not an easy
Oh,
decision to walk
absolutely.
out of the wedding at the altar
No.
because of that. And then you have the audacity. I'd be suing you for like, what is it like when you make pain and suffering? I don't know. I'd go find a mental illness real fast because, sir, you gave it to me. How was
Yeah.
she after that ordeal?
Oh, she's probably gonna have PTSD. It's gonna be very hard for her today. I mean, yeah, I personally think that his family should just kind of swallow that and cut the loss. I mean,
His
kind of
mom could
ridiculous.
not have reached out to her at all unless it was to be there for her and be supportive. Unless you're
No,
doing that, don't reach
exactly.
out to her. Like she had no
But also
reason to.
him him saying he can't control his family. I'm sorry, but that's your mom. So you can have a conversation with your mom and tell her, obviously we didn't see this coming. I screwed up.
Two, I mean, just playing devil's advocate, I do. It kind of seemed like he didn't realize that his mom texted her until she told him. So I feel like, I mean, obviously she's upset in that situation, but she definitely should have reached out and be like, this is what your mom did. Can you know, handle that and then see how he handles it from there and then be upset about it?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. They should have had like some type of conversation about that instead of her just like kind of using that against him. I think she should
Yeah,
have
yeah, she
definitely
definitely should
been
have.
mature and just straight up told him like, obviously we didn't plan for us to not get married. Can you please talk to your mom for me? Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry that you're hurt, but I'm also hurt. You couldn't even write from your heart. I mean, that's fucking
I
valid
mean,
reason.
yeah, very valid reason.
He continues to say, "This has been the more horrendous time in my life. I've thought about giving up altogether." Meanwhile, she's posting about brunch with friends on her social media. Makes
Why
me
are
wonder
you
how
watching
she can
her
move on.
social media?
Well, I think it makes sense that he's watching her stories. I mean, they were going to get married.
I have a bunch of posts
um,
about her going to brunch with her friends. He's watching her.
Well, he's saying it makes me wonder how she could move on that fast while I'm a wreck. People have accused me of not caring about her enough to write my own vows, yet the difference in our reactions to splitting up says the reverse. Hope you're all happy. Feel free to rub salt in the wound. I'm not coming back to this account. Okay, first of all, everybody grieves differently. This is a form of grieving, right? You're grieving what could have
Oh,
been in your relationship. So for him to say that he's a wreck, but she's not, like, how could she move on so fast? She could be hurting inside, okay? Just because she's out having brunch with friends,
I was about to
that's a
say, have
normal
you
thing to
never
do.
cried at a restaurant with your friend because you're having a
But
time?
also, that
You
is
can
also the
cry
most
with
normal
a good
thing
plate of food
for
in front of you.
Well, yeah, but that's also the most normal thing for us as women to do. We go out with our friends to try to
Yeah,
cheer us up after something tragic happens.
yeah.
Like,
What's the first
buddy.
thing in a crisis? You call your best friend.
Yes. The whole people accusing him of not caring about her enough. I don't know who's saying that. He didn't say who's saying that, so I can't really speak too much on that part of it. But
I
I
feel like
don't
was
think
he
he's
dumb?
being fair.
Yeah, was he dumb for using AI? Yes, but I also
Yes.
think that it's not so much like I said the AI thing. She gave him another chance to talk and say
Mm-hmm.
how he felt, and he didn't say anything. That is so
That is
hurtful.
exactly it. That is exactly it. So he is having a little pissy party and everything, which is not wrong. I understand he's heartbroken. He didn't get to have this wedding with the person he claims to love very much. But she gave him a second chance right in that moment, and he didn't say anything. Buddy, what the So you
You can
can't
be like, I
really
love your
blame her for
smile the
anything.
time. The way you wake up in the morning. You can just. lie.
Yeah.
I can write vows out of my ass right now to you. We're gonna get married and I can figure out vows. It's not that hard. And I have no, because
It's
I've known
not
you
that
for
hard.
so long, I can come up with vows on reasons why I love you. And we're not in a romantic
Yes.
relationship. Like, what?
Exactly. I can do the same thing. And I mean, he didn't say how long they were together, but I'm assuming it doesn't really matter if you proposed to somebody, you wanted to
Yeah.
spend the rest of your life with them. There's
You
a
knew her
reason
enough to
why.
marry.
Why couldn't you speak to that? Ah, so, yeah, I'm sorry, but the whole male population, you take an L for this one. Completely, he's in the wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's so in the wrong. And then for your fiance to get mad that you went to the internet and then to go back to the internet for help and then tell her you did that,
Oh my God.
at that point, you erase the post, you pretend it wasn't you, and I don't
Yeah.
know, pretend it didn't happen.
But also, I loved that you brought up that she did give him a second chance in that moment. So he had another chance to give vows from his heart. He didn't
Yeah.
do it. And then he still, when writing the first post in part one, had no idea why it was a problem. Are you for real, dude? You
He
can't be
probably
that daft.
he probably had AI write that post for him. Told AI the situation and what happened.
Ugh,
Maybe a post for social media to see if I'm in the
you
wrong.
know, I have to say, because I'm not the biggest fan of AI, but I do think it is helpful in certain situations. So I'm not completely saying that it's not a good tool. However, what worries me with the prevalence of AI in our current society is the fact that people are going to lose critical thinking skills. People are not going to think for themselves that much anymore because they just have something they can input a few thoughts, it's going to feed back to you something. The fact that he used this to write his vows. Another example is the
Yeah.
fact that students were also using it to write their essays and whatnot. That part of AI is what worries me because I don't want us as a society to become stupid. I want us to
I
be able
know.
to think for ourselves.
Yeah, I know that like with my younger family members that I help with their homework, they've told me sometimes they use AI to get their homework answers because you can just take a picture of it and be like, tell me the answer, and it solves it for you. And
Yeah.
this is just the mom in me, so I feel like we're sounding like the old generation. I hate these words that are about to come out of my mouth. But it has slowly been happening, like, and we're kind of the generation that just got to see it. It's like at first it's like they have autocorrect with the phones to where it's correcting
Yeah.
you when you misspell things, and then they just like slowly keep moving things up and up and up to where now we have progressed into you type anything into this, it'll tell you the answer. And like you said, the critical thinking is just like done. The fact that someone had the audacity to use that for their wedding vows, we are now letting this into our personal lives a little too much. It doesn't have all the answers. Like you
Yeah.
said, it's great for certain things,
No.
but you can see things how they have progressed over the years and the technology where it has pretty much started to do the thinking for you.
Yeah, and that's the scary part of AI for me. I think because I've always loved English, that was always my favorite subject in school. I loved, like learning about grammar and spelling, and I love writing. I Writing is definitely one of my passions. I am just worried. On the one hand, you mentioned how the younger generation sometimes uses it for homework. I think the one good thing with that. Now, some may not agree with this. However, for people who unfortunately cannot afford tutors for their children, I think AI could potentially help a child understand why they got this answer in math or
Yes, because
why
it's
this part of
different.
history happened.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the kid has to. There's a difference between asking AI, explain to me how to get this answer, to asking AI, give me the answer.
Yeah,
Like you said, it could be used in
absolutely.
good ways if we're using it in that kind of way. But a lot of times, what's wrong with parents these days is they're not watching their kids on the electronics. And, I think that
No.
it's kind of like a debate with parents, they're like, less screen time, all of this, keep your kids safe. You can give your kids screen time. You can have your kids have Roblox. You can have them on social media. The difference is you protect your children. Protecting your children is not keeping them away from these things. It's monitoring them when they use these things. And that's what 80% of this like parents out here refuse to do, and that's why we have the problems.
Yeah,
You don't have to keep your kids sheltered in to
absolutely.
protect them. They can go out into the world and be protected, but you have to make sure to sit there and watch them, and a lot of people don't do that.
Hmm. Nope, I agree. Kind of basing my answer off of Predator Badlands, the main character goes to a different planet and comes across an artificial intelligence robot who happens to be played by Elle Fanning. I love her so much. And she even says, like, I'm a tool, and he's like, I'm gonna use you as a tool. So I feel like we should use AI or Chat GPT as a tool. It should
Yeah.
not become your whole life. It should not be your therapist, your whatever. And like I get it, like sometimes you need to ask certain questions, but I guess I'm just my point is use it as a tool. Don't let it completely consume your life. So
No, exactly. So I like
yeah.
to cook. So one of my favorite things, because I like to experiment in the kitchen, is I ask Chad a lot how certain flavors, how they would mix together. So you can use it as a tool. I
Okay.
love it. You can use it for different
I
things
like
and
that.
just random things you wouldn't think about using it for. But I don't think you should let it do your critical thinking for the day and it's things like that.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that because I also love cooking. I love to experiment. I feel that I've grown my most with cooking because I watched a lot of the cooking channel. But I do
Yeah.
think I never even thought about using it for help. Like, how would this go? Yeah, but this was a good episode. I just, again, I want to hear everybody's thoughts down below because
Yeah.
I think this is such a hot topic with AI just growing more and more in our society, unfortunately and semi fortunately. So, yeah,
Yeah.
guys, please below give us your feedback.
The thing is like I love when people don't agree on things, and I love getting different point of views, and a lot of people just like shut down different things because it's not the same as theirs. But like I want to hear your opinion
Yeah,
that's different than ours, and I want to hear why you think you're right. Just like I told you why I think I'm right. You tell me why now.
no, definitely. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us again, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.